G'day folks, welcome back to the Design, Creativity and Technology channel. My name's Aaron. In today's episode of Fusion Fortnight, we're going to take a couple of steps back and revisit the very first episode that I taught you on some basic sketching and extrusion processes. Now, one of the very first projects I do with my engineering students is the drill gauge. This is where they get a piece of mould steel, roughly this shape here, rectangular section. So it's a mould steel, 5mm thick, 85mm long by roughly about 55mm wide. And it's their job to create their very own drill gauge from this piece of material. Now, before they can create their drill gauge, they need to draw it in CAD. Once they draw their model in CAD, they export the DXF file and they will laser cut it to attain an acrylic piece. Now, once their proof of concept is proven and the design is correct, they'll go into the workshop and they'll actually make it out of steel. Now, the processes they use will be a subtractive process, where it's not like 3D printing where it's an additive process. One of the first things they'll need to do is use the milling machine to create a datum edge on this lower right hand corner by facing and milling along the side here. They'll face one edge, they'll mill cut along the side here, and they'll create this datum point where all their measurements will come off this datum across this way and across up this way. Now, the way I'm showing you how to draw this today can be simplified. I'm taking the long way around because this is the way I want my students to approach this project when working on it. So when you see me doing this today, you could quite easily do this in one sketch and one extrusion. But I like to take a few more steps so my students can understand it and hopefully apply it from their brain into practice in the workshop. In teaching terms, that's moving from the abstract and into the concrete realm. So let's get stuck into it. Okay, before we start, I need to ensure that you're in setup. As always, preferences, setup. Make sure your units are in millimeters. And let's start. Step one is you're going to create a new project. Click New Project. And you're going to call this project Engineering Pre-App. And include your surname in the file. Click Enter. Once you've created your project, double click on the project to get inside of it. Click on People, and this is where you'll need to add your instructor's email if they require it. So you would type their email in and you would click Invite, the full email of course, invite that person into your project. Remember, with people in here, don't invite other students or friends. Keep it as your instructor only. Your instructor will be able to see who you have invited in your project, and that way then there's no risk of plagiarizing or cheating. Okay, first thing we're going to do is save your project before you start. Make sure it is going into that project that you've started. So you're going to call this drill gauge. And away we go. We're going to click Create a Sketch. We're going to click the green and red ground plane. And we're going to go Sketch, the drop down, pick a rectangle, 2-point rectangle. We're going to start from the center, so make sure you can look at the crosshairs. Make sure it snaps to the center. Click and hold your left mouse key and drag up. Now don't click it just yet. You're going to type in your dimensions from here. You can see down the bottom, the X is highlighted at the moment, so I'm going to type in 80, tab twice, then type in 50, tab, enter. So now we have 50 by 80. We're going to extrude that, so we need to click on the Create and click Extrude. Click the rectangle we drew, type in 5, up we come, and click OK. We're going to view onto that plane now, so you want to click on the cube over here, your view cube, click the top, so you're in this orientation. Now you can hold your scroll wheel and move your job around, or you can move your scroll wheel by rolling it out or in to zoom in or zoom out. Okay, select the top face, come into Sketch and select Line. The shortcut key for line is L. We're going to click on one side do not snap it to the center here. Notice this, don't snap it to the center. You want to snap it about there. Click once and drag across. When you're dragging, ensure that you're not going off diagonally or downward. Ensure you stick to the horizontal and snap it to the side there. Now, to ensure that your line is horizontal, just in case you did go off target, we're going to select that line once, hold the shift key, select the bottom line, come to your sketch palette, and you're going to click that parallel to ensure both these lines are parallel. Using our D for dimension, so press the D key. If you can't find that, it lives in sketch down the bottom here and all the way down this sketch dimension, but shortcut key is D for dimension. Click the line, click that here, come over, and this is going to be 12.5. Remember, our datum point is this bottom right corner, so all our dimensions are coming from this lower right hand corner. What we're going to do now, we're going to draw a vertical line, so L for line. Make sure you snap it to the line here. Once again, never snap to a center point, because if you do, you won't be able to move it, okay? We just want to move it here, snap it to the line, and drag it to the top. Now notice I'm connecting it to the line up the top here, and I'm snapping it. Press the escape key once, D for dimension. We want to click that line, let go of the mouse key, click the next line, let go of the mouse key, drag up and snap. Click the mouse key. This is going to be 105 degrees, enter. Now, to ensure that we don't have problems with extruding later on, we need to select both of these lines and change them to a construction line. So you're going to hold your shift key down. We're going to click 1. Now notice I'm still in dimension here, so I need to escape out of that. We're going to click that line once, click that line second. There's 2 lines now, they're in bold blue, and over in our sketch palette we have normal or construction. You're going to click that, and you'll notice these bold blue lines will now go to a dotted line. Okay, we're going to put some circles along these lines now. So drop down, circle, and the shortcut key is C. So we're just going to start here. We're going to draw 1. Make sure the circles are snapping to the line. Once again, don't snap the circle to the center point, because you won't be able to move it. Make sure you stay away from those center points. And the very last circle, you want to actually pick up the intersecting points here. So point of intersection, you can see it here. Snap and drag. Now we want a circle up these vertical lines. Make sure you snap them to the line. And there'll be 4 going up here. Okay. So these circles are going to be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So to do that, D for dimension, we just click on the outside edge of the circle. So on the circumference there, snap it, type in 10, enter. We do the next one, 9, enter. And 3 and 2. Okay, so now we want to dimension this point here to get it exact. So once again, remember what I told you, this bottom right hand corner is your datum point. So D for dimension, we're going to click the center point of that circle, click that outside edge and drag down. Okay, that is going to be 15 millimeters, and enter. And you'll see if you snap the circles properly, you would have seen them, all of those shift at the same time. I'm going to undo that so you can see it again. I'll double click on my dimension, I'll type in 15, watch them all move. So I know that I've snapped those circles to that line because they're responding in the correct way. We're going to start from the left hand side and work our way across now, but remember we're referencing off this line here. So from the center point to that circle, this one will be 67. From the center point to that line there, this will be 53. as we're going, we can move these down a little bit so we don't have a cluttered work environment. You can also click that edge first if you want, then click that point if it's not working for you. 40. Depending on which network computer you're sitting on, sometimes they play silly games. I'm using my personal laptop and I don't have any problems with it because it's not networked. Okay, so we've got the bottom here, 67, 53, 40, 27, 15. So that's the correct spacing. So now we need to reference these circles going up on the diagonal, and the reference point would be this bottom one here. Okay, so from the bottom line now to the center, we come over here and that's going to be 22. At any point in time where you get stuck, remember to pause the video so you can watch it. Okay, can you see the problem that I've come into here? When I snap that circle, I accidentally snapped to the center of the line, and you'll notice now that I can't change it. So that was probably good that this has happened to me in case it happens to you. So I'll fix that in a minute. I'm going to go up to the top here now because I'll have to delete that circle in order to fix it. Okay, so this one up here will be 37. And the very top one, from here to there, that will be 44. Now I'm just going to adjust these a little bit. Move him down a little bit over here. Okay, so I need to get rid of that circle for a second. So I'm going to select it and delete it. I'm going to come back, see for circle. I'm just going to go, see how it wants to snap there. I don't want it to snap there. I'm just going to go below my point. I'm still snapping to the line. Okay. That circle should have been 4. So it's good that this has happened to me so you can see the problems I just had. And bring him back over now. And we should be able to see, I can adjust that easy now. That will be 30. So, once again, clean your dimensions up. You don't want it looking like a chicken's run across the page and scratched everything up on you. Okay, so you should be able to see these dimensions quite easily. I'll bring this out again. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, what we're going to do now, we're going to extrude cut these circles below. Okay, so remember, create, extrude as E is the shortcut key. We're going to view into the home position, which makes it a lot easier. Drop down, we're going to go cut, and the first thing I'm going to do is come over here and I'm going to select that circle there. Now I'm going to type in -5, so -5 point, and you'll see it go below. I've currently got one profile selected. I'm just going to come along now and select these. Now guys, before I made you convert those two lines into construction lines, okay? If you didn't convert those lines into construction lines, what would have happened now is you'd only pick up 1/2 of the circle. You'd have to pick up 2 halves. By making it a construction line, it's simply just click it once and I pick it all up, okay? Okay, so what we want to do now is, you can see here that we've got our rectangle, and this is what will happen in class. You'll get your plate of steel, you'll get a nice square corner, which will create your datum point. You'll measure out all your circles, and then you'll go to the drill press and you'll drill all these holes, okay? So now we need to work on the next part where we'll witness mark along here and witness mark up here with a center punch, and after we apply some bluing ink, and then we'll be able to hacksaw cut those out. Okay, so we select that face and L for line. Righto. This time you can snap to the center here. Watch this. As I touch this outside edge and I drag down, see the triangle point appear? So you're going to click there and come across, and it doesn't really matter where you want to stop from. That's okay. We're going to stop there. I'm going to come up on the diagonal. Don't worry about the diagonal measurement at the moment. I'm going to snap there. I'm going to come all the way across now to the top, snap and snap. So now I should have a chained line going all the way around. D for dimension. I'm going to click this line and click that line, and this is going to be 120 degrees. Okay, now Using our D for dimension key again, I want to pick that point there and that edge there and drag down. Remember, that bottom corner is always our datum, and that's going to be 25 also. Now, just to prove a point here, I can actually just click inspect and click that line there, and it should tell us the length of that line is 25. I can click this line here, and you'll see overall length is 50, but it's 25 as well. So I know that that line is in the center, so that's perfect. Okay. Now, what we're going to do here is put a small circle at that point there. So C for circle. Make sure you can zoom in if you want to, and you snap it exactly to that point and drag out. And that's going to be a 2 millimeter, so D for dimension, a 2 millimeter circle, 2.0, enter. You want it exact. Okay, we need to trim this part in here now. So to zoom right in on it, press T for trim. If you can't find it, remember, click our sketch icon here, come down and T is trim. So it will appear like a little tiny pair of scissors. You want to cut this little piece here. So when I touch it, it will turn red, and click it once, it will cut. I need to cut there and cut there. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out. Now the shortcut key, I'm going to press escape. And the reason I pressed escape is so I don't accidentally cut anything else. Shortcut key for extrude is E. Once again, view into your home position. We're going to select that body and we're going to type in -5. Now, Fusion 360 will preempt you and go, oh, you're going negative, you must want to cut. And you can see here it's brought up a cut. Click OK. Now, drill gauge is nearly finished. We need to put some fillets on here and just do a little V over here. So we're going to go click modify. We're going to put a fillet on. You're going to pick this hidden edge here. You can see when I bring my mouse it highlights. I click it once. I know it's selected because in my fillet edge box, 1 is selected. I'm going to click that vertical line also. And in radius, I'm going to type in here 6.6. Delete those two there. Now 6.6 is nearly spot on, and we have the radius here. So we view in our top view, you can see it here. All right, and that by making that, I still get that point there. So overall height will be 50 exactly at that top point. Okay, so we click the top face one more time, and this time we're going to draw a triangle. So alpha line. Now, you can notice I'm zoomed in quite a bit here, and I can see my grid fairly easy. I'm going to start from one part of the grid, go across to that part, come down to that one there, and create myself a triangle. Now, the dimension for this one here, from there to the tip height, will be 5. Okay, tab enter. I need to move the triangle, so I click and hold the tip. There you go, might take a couple of times to grab it. And I'm just going to drag it down here until this top line here is in line with that. So I'll show you what I mean. It will snap there. Zoom out a little bit, D for dimension. From this line here, let go of the mouse, and you see it's already picked up the tip. Drag it down, that's going to be 60. Okay, so we're going to E for extrude one more time. We're going to click that triangle, type in minus. Fusion will preempt us, it will know it's a cut, and there we have it. Now, click save, and your drill gauge is practically finished. However, you need to do one more thing. If you want to laser cut this out, it will require you to get a DXF, okay? So the sketch we want for that DXF, the easiest way to do it is select that face and just click create a sketch. Once you've clicked create a sketch, click stop sketch. Open your sketch dialog boxes. You can see here your first sketch, the whole sketch, the upper part, the little triangle, and this is going to be your DXF. So on this one, again, click it once, click it twice, and type in DXF, enter. You can right click on that now and you can go save as DXF and save that to your desktop or save it to one of your USB drives. Call it your name. And this way now, I'm putting this on my desktop. I can take this DXF to our laser cutter and laser cut this out. Now, like I was saying at the start of the video, this is not the optimum way to design this. It's far too many processes. However, it's a good way to first learn Fusion, because now in the workshop, you can apply the same drawing principles in the workshop and apply it to your work so you understand it. So when we do the playback function now, down the bottom here, you can see how I've done it. Alrighty, we'll put it back to our home view. Don't forget to click save. Alright, let's go to the workshop and let's make this. Thank you for watching.